right, I'm currently on the phone with Christine. She's another musician that reached out about the interview series. So I'm going to go ahead and give her the chance to introduce herself.
Oh, hi, I'm Christine. I play violin, bass, and guitar.
Excellent. So I always like to find out, how a musician first came in connection with music. When did you first, consider music to be a pathway that you wanted to pursue?
When I was about 12, I saw Josie and the Pussycats movie, and I thought that the girls were like so cool that I wanted to learn how to play.
Okay. And so once you kind of figured that out, how did you kind of decide that you were going to go down the pathway of learning instrumentation the way that you did?
Well, back then we didn't even have the internet, so I had to learn by pictures. I asked for my birthday for a guitar, and my grandpa got me a guitar when I was a kid, and I had no idea how to play it. So I had some old music books, and they had these squares with lines and dots on them, and I had to try to figure out what these lines and dots were. And at first, I was actually playing it upside down.
Okay.
And then my brother played a little bit, so I used to bang on his door and not leave him alone as being the annoying little sister until he taught me a new chord. So once a week, he would let me learn one new chord. So I got to learn C, G, D, and A, and that's where I started.
Okay, so you were very much self-taught and didn't really have anybody around you aside from your brother that could help guide your introduction into how to play an instrument.
Yeah, it was very self-taught.
Okay, did you ever pursue any like private lessons?
Yes. So as I got older, so when I graduated and I was on my own and I had my own place and my own money and I could do what I wanted, I went and I took a few lessons and they showed me how to read tabs and sheet music, and then I just kept practicing. And then I had a friend who, she was more of a professional musician, and she showed me kind of how to convert that knowledge onto the bass and how to hold the bass differently than the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a semester of vocals at the jazz college, and then I did a lot of private singing lessons.
Okay, so it sounds like after you got out on your own and had the discretion to spend money the way that you wanted, you pursued private lessons and then used that knowledge to kind of get yourself more in tune with what you wanted out of music. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so at that point, when you were, at the point of still being I guess everybody's kind of still a student of it, but as you were learning throughout the process, but how did you kind of envision what you wanted out of music, where you wanted to go, where you saw your life headed?
Well, when I was young and when I was a teenager, I thought that I could start a rock band. And then when I got older, I started to realize how little time that people actually have to dedicate to a lot of this stuff. So it just became more of a side hobby. And then I started writing a few songs and I put them on Reverb Nation. And at the time I thought they were like really awesome. And then I look back, and then as my like music knowledge has grown, I look back and go, geez, there was really some polishing that could have used.
I think that's probably a fair assessment for a lot of people when they look back at the original material that they wrote. As we grow, we learn more. We get more in tune with how we like to create. And looking back at stuff that we didn't have the processes for creation that we developed throughout a period of time working in music, it can be jarring for sure.
At the time, I thought for sure it was going to be like a one-hit wonder, and I guess when you're young, you like to kind of you fantasize a little bit about how awesome something is, and then you grow up and you learn real things.
Well, so stepping back, you mentioned that you realize that people don't have a lot of time to commit to music and things like that. Tell me a bit about your attempts to kind of look into getting a band together, if that's where you're kind of pulling that information from.
Yeah, now I'm not so much into the whole band thing, but when I was younger, I was definitely I was in Victoria, big city, lots of people. I was definitely into that. But now I'm older and I have a kid and I've got, mom and wife responsibilities. And um, I have a friend that wants to learn guitar, and I tell her, because I play violin now, and I said, I only practice about an hour a week. And I said, after 3 years of taking violin lessons, and I practiced 1 hour a week, that's it. And I said, I'm already in level 6. So before you know it, you just a tiny little bit of consistency.
Right. They say, to learn an instrument, you should give it 20 minutes a day kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess a lot of the knowledge converted over from guitar, because it's all strings, to violin. So it's pretty much the same thing. You're just holding it in a different way.
Okay. And then I suppose what I'm looking for is, at what point did you kind of transition from considering the whole rock band type lineup to having the kind of like solo kind of hobbyist mindset towards music?
Oh, when I had a child.
Okay, that could definitely do it. That'll take time for sure.
When I had a child, and then he became my whole life. I guess it just depends on your priorities. For me, I enjoy doing music, and I think I actually enjoy it better as a hobby or an escape than pursuing some kind of, rock band type thing where you have to travel and be away from your family, or
Sure.
if the child wants to sleep and you're keeping them up.
Absolutely. So tell me a bit about your projects that you are currently working on as a hobby.
Right now, I've kind of taken a lot away from the whole music side of things, and now I'm writing books. And I have a friend who does audio backtracks. So I'm working on some audio books, and he does some cool musical stuff in the background. And we're working on taking his electronic music and kind of engineering it into visual audiobooks.
Okay, so you've kind of taken, that desire to be creative and record, and kind of transition to that into, more of, I don't want to say just audiobooks, because I know there is a lot of creative process that goes into that, but you're still kind of pursuing something that's somewhat tangentially related to music.
Yeah, well, there's like a lot of different skills out there that we have that are like hidden little jobs, and there's ways to find how to use these things, but also make money at them, because there's a lot of fun things that don't pay. So if you find the technical side of things that are a lot of really boring, slow, fine, like little fine details, those kinds of tasks, those are the things that pay.
So what do you kind of see for yourself going forward into the future, like 5 or 10 years? Do you want to see the hobby side of music develop into more of a career, or are you kind of content with where it is? Give me some detail about that.
So I want to do more comedy-centered things, because I've started writing comedy scripts for people and content for people. So I want to take some music and make parodies and do parody songs and parody YouTube videos, but doing the behind the scenes stuff, because it's a lot easier to do the behind the scenes and let someone else do the performing.
Sure, definitely. So essentially you want to be kind of on staff for a group as a content creator kind of thing.
On the supporting team.
Right. I suppose that's a better term for it, definitely. Awesome. So with all the time and experience that you have working in the different aspects of music and also recording and engineering, what are some of the memories that stand out to you that have helped keep you motivated and want to keep doing it?
Motivated to keep me doing it. I'm not sure why I want to, but I just keep doing it anyway. I've got a whole whiteboard here with a bunch of sticky notes on it, of sticky note things that I'm supposed to do. And I'm not sure why I want to, but I guess in a way, music is just kind of therapeutic. And yeah, a memory that stands out, only it's kind of unrelated, but I'm just thinking about how when my son was little, I couldn't play the guitar anymore because he always would grab it from me. So that's when I switched to violin, because I would stand up and he couldn't reach it, and I could play the violin while he was jumping up and down trying to get me.
Interesting. I could definitely see that. My son definitely grabs at the guitar whenever I'm playing it, so I can I can relate to that.
It's mommy's time.
Right. All right. Well, do you have any social media links out there where people can look at the stuff that you have put out and what you're going to be working on?
Yes. So I've got a Facebook page, and it's Christine Dubois author. And I've got a web page called christinesbooks.ca. And that's probably enough links.
Okay. All right. And then I always like to give the person I'm interviewing the opportunity to put out their last words. So just a message that you feel you resonate with that you want to put out there.
Do it even though you're tired. Just do it anyway.